Sawasdee ka. Thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT, Radio Thailand FM 88, and on NBT World. It's a Tuesday and the date is December 30th of 2014, and you're with me, Sandra Hanutsaha. His Majesty the King on Monday paid a private visit to a royal grocery in a nearby building and had a change of scenery by the Chao Phraya River. His Majesty the King left Chalerm Praket building at Siriraj Hospital on Monday afternoon at 4:19 p.m. to visit a Golden Place outlet on the ground floor of the nearby Siriraj Maharajakarun Hospital. The monarch appeared before the public with a happy face, sitting on a wheelchair and passing well-wishers who lined the way at Siriraj to catch a glimpse of him. They all chanted, "Long live the King," as he passed by. Golden Place is a retailing chain operated by Suvarnachat Company under the royal patronage of His Majesty the King. At the shop, His Majesty observed its operation and bought some milk, ice cream, and fruits, which were products of the Royal Soanchitlada farm. His Majesty later visited the Thailand Institute of Applied Medicine on the 7th floor of Siriraj Maharajakarun Hospital, where he spent some time drinking tea and looking at the scenic view of the Chao Phraya River before returning to Siriraj Hospital at 5 p.m. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has sent a letter to Indonesian President Joko Widodo to express his sympathy over the missing AirAsia aircraft. In the letter, the Thai Premier said he was saddened to learn about the missing AirAsia Indonesia aircraft with 162 passengers and crew on board. At this difficult time, he said the Thai people's thoughts and prayers go out to all those missing and their families. In addition, the letter said the Royal Thai government would stand ready to assist Indonesia in any way possible, as the Thai Premier has instructed all relevant ministries to be on standby to provide urgent assistance to the ongoing search and rescue operations. And in a related story, AirAsia Group CEO Tony Fernandez said that the airline was prepared to offer compensation for the missing passengers of flight QZ8501. Fernandez made the remark at a press conference held by the Indonesian Transport Ministry, saying that insurance is being dealt with and all passengers will be notified on insurance procedures. Fernandez also said everything was running normally for AirAsia, with flights from Surabaya to Singapore operating as usual yesterday. Fernandez added that the disappearance was a first for the airline, which is well known as a budget flight service. A search is underway for the missing flight QZ8501 that lost contact over waters between Tanjung Pandan of Bangka Belitung Province and Pontianak City of West Kalimantan Province on Sunday, with 162 people on board. The Airbus A320-200 was on its submitted flight plan route when it lost contact with air traffic control about 42 minutes after takeoff at 5:35 local time from Surabaya in Indonesia's East Java province. It was scheduled to land at 8:30 local time in Singapore. In another story, a Virgin Atlantic passenger plane has landed safely at London's Gatwick Airport after discovering a problem with part of its main landing gear. The Boeing 747 circled over southern England for several hours, dumping fuel before making a bumpy but safe landing. The Prime Minister has pledged to restore peace, resolve social problems, adhere to the international rule of law, and push for country reform. Speaking at the Thailand Halal Assembly, where he had a chance to meet members of the Muslim community, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha said the government, under his leadership, will mobilize Thailand in a prosperous direction. In addition to ensuring a bright future for the country, the premier vowed to protect the lives of residents living in the southernmost provinces, as well as to bring about reform in all sectors. He has also given strong assurance to the Organization of the Islamic Cooperation, or OIC, that the government will do its best to restore peace and unity in the troubled South, affirming that his government has always played by the international rule of law in its security mission. The premier indicated that the ongoing conflict in the region is mainly caused by social disparities. He also called on both Thai Buddhists and Thai Muslims to unite and take part in the reform of the country. Deputy Prime Minister Wisnu Kurangam has told the press that he agrees that amnesty should be granted to the perpetrators whose actions voided the election of February 2, 2014, resulting in losses totaling 3 billion baht. Mr. Wisnu revealed that he agreed with the proposal made by the Election Commission that the perpetrators be granted amnesty. However, he said attention should first be placed on the core problems of Thai society, which are inequality, poverty, hypocrisy, and injustice. Amnesty should only be granted if efforts to solve core problems are successful. Regarding the proposal that the Prime Minister needs to be an elected Member of Parliament, as well as the proposals concerning senators, Mr. Wisnu reminded the press that the Constitutional Drafting Committee, or CDC, is still debating the matter, and a conclusion has yet to be reached. As much as 90% of some 111,000 complaints lodged with the government-run Complaints Reception Center have been successfully dealt with, according to Prime Minister's Office Minister Mamluang Banatdisakul. Mamluang Banatda announced there had been 111,399 complaints made from May 22nd to December 26th. 90.2% of the complaints have been successfully addressed, and work was in progress for the remaining 9.8%. Most of the remaining issues involved lack of land, forest encroachment, debt, and social reorganization. Of all the complaints, the most prevalent topics include nighttime entertainment venues that stay open past the allowed time and those that were located near educational institutes, non-formal loans, narcotics, corrupt state officials, land transport services, and public services. Mamluang Banatda expressed satisfaction over the center's performance. He also disclosed that another channel for complaints submission will be opened next year through applications on mobile devices. More regional complaints reception centers will also be set up next year. The Ministry of Public Health, or MOPH, has been providing mobile medical units to assist the public affected by the floods in the 3 southern border provinces of Thailand. According to the Ministry of Public Health Minister, Professor Dr. Ratchata Nawin, the MOPH has been providing mobile medical services to the flood-affected public every day and has distributed up to 65,000 sets of regular medicine to the public to take care of their health should they contract common diseases during the flood. He said that 2 facilities in the Pattani province, the Nong Tik Hospital and the Pagaharang Health Center, are at risk of being flooded as the water levels have continued to rise. However, staff have lined up sandbags and installed water pumps to allow the 2 facilities to continue their service. Some of the medical instruments in the 2 facilities are being kept on the upper level of the building as a precaution, while the situation is now being closely monitored, said the MOPH's minister. The Interior Ministry yesterday continued handing down policies involving safety and orderliness during the New Year's period to security-related agencies. Interior Minister Anupong Paujinda on Monday handed down a policy for all provincial governors to place emphasis on safety measures during the New Year's period, especially those related to travel safety. General Anupong revealed that intelligence was being analyzed, and so far there have been no worrisome indicators for Bangkok or other provinces. General Udomde Sitabut, Commander-in-Chief of the Army, told Army agencies to work with the police and the civilian sector in maintaining peace and order during the New Year's period. Emphasis was made on safety measures at countdown venues nationwide and peace and order along the border areas. Royal Thai Police Commissioner Somyot Phumpanmuang, meanwhile, said there will be police presence at all New Year's celebration spots, and other undercover police officers will also be deployed. The Bangkok Suvarnabhumi Airport is now providing additional personnel and has established new measures to facilitate the increase of flights and passengers during the New Year's holidays. According to the director of Suvarnabhumi Airport, Prapon Pathamakit Sukun, the Suvarnabhumi Airport has established new measures to accommodate the convenience for passengers due to the extra amount of passengers and flights during the New Year's holiday. He said that from the 26th of December of 2014 to the 5th of January of 2015, the number of flights at the airport is expected at 903 flights per day, an increase from 846 flights, and the number of passengers is expected to rise to 152,560 passengers per day, increasing from 147,708. 21 airlines have requested to add 423 extra flights in addition to the regular flights on schedule, which comprise 286 international flights and 137 domestic flights. To cope with the increase of passengers, Suvarnabhumi Airport will now provide more staff, such as the security check staff to shorten the passenger and baggage security checking time, more traffic staff to take care of the sending and receiving of passengers in front of the terminal, more security staff, and more staff to constantly check the condition of airport equipment to better provide assistance and convenience. The President of the National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, has defended the National Council for Peace and Order, or NCPO's action threatening to exercise Article 44 of the interim constitution to shut down newspapers criticizing him. NLA President Phonphet Vichit Cholachai spoke regarding the threat of the NCPO to exercise the power granted to him by Article 44 of the interim constitution to shut down certain newspapers. The president defended the intentions of the article, saying it was not meant to deliberately obstruct the freedom of the press, but rather to give special powers to the NCPO in tackling special matters not stipulated in common law. Article 44 of the interim constitution grants power to the head of the NCPO to clamp down on entities deemed as a threat to national reconciliation, peace and order, as well as the nation's economic and political sovereignty. According to the NLA president, the Prime Minister, who is also the head of the NCPO, will cite Article 44 of the interim constitution in legitimizing his move to cancel local elections and allow holders of positions to remain in their offices beyond their terms. And Thailand has reportedly restored confidence among both Thai and foreign tourists following the disastrous tsunami that hit the southern part of Thailand in 2004, and a grand ceremony has been held to commemorate the tragic event.
The 10 years on, remembering the Indian Ocean tsunami ceremony was held in Takwa Pa District, Phang Nga Province on December the 26, 2014. The ceremony, which was presided over by Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha, featured observance of a moment of silence, a wreath-laying ceremony, a video presentation of the restoration and development of local communities, remarked by Thai and foreign dignitaries, and a performance by Bangkok Symphony Orchestra. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs on this occasion led a number of foreign dignitaries to visit Ban Nam Kem community and Chai Patana village, the disaster-resilient community models. Thailand has restructured related laws and regulations by enacting the Disaster Prevention and Mitigation Act, which is more oriented to the harmonization and systemization of disaster management practices of all stakeholders. Tsunami evacuation and other disaster management exercises have since been conducted yearly. According to Sek Wannamethi, the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, warning towers have been set up along the coastal areas, meet the international standard requirements in order to ensure safety of locals as well as tourists.
Thailand plays an active role in exchanging or disseminating its best practices in natural disaster management, in disaster risk management, and at the regional and international levels. And in particular, the series of drillings and exercises that take place in the key tourist provinces which are vulnerable to coastal natural disasters, particularly Phuket and Phang Nga. And throughout the monthly exercises, of course, the tourists are also involved. And I think that Thailand's reputation, Thailand's proactive role in the region and at the international level when it comes to disaster management, that has, of course, provided enhanced the safety for tourists coming to Thailand.
He went on to assure that Thailand has sought technical cooperation with many foreign entities for knowledge sharing and enhancement of disaster prevention and management capacity. Thailand has seen a higher number of tourists today than it did before the 2004 tsunami.
Yeah, I think the warning system must be very efficient after the tsunami happened 10 years ago. So I feel quite safe to be here. I really wanted to stay here for a longer time. Okay, it's quite okay. Feel safe here.
It also set up the Tsunami Regional Trust Fund 1 year after the devastating tsunami hit the southern region, with an aim to rehabilitate and help those affected get back on their feet. This is Katie Sirit Singh reporting.
And that is the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Before we take a quick break, here's a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The second core value, being honest, sacrificing, showing restraint and determinations in doing good for the majority.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore.
Just thought.
Enough! We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
Faithful Buddhists are invited to donate to the building of a huge Buddha statue known as Praputta Metta. It's to be constructed at Tepratan Temple, Soidao, Jantaburi. With a 20,000 baht donation, the donor's name will be engraved on the foundations of the statue. Those wishing to contribute may make their donations at the Royal Thai Embassy or at the Consulate General in each country, 7-Eleven convenience stores and stores with counter service signs, Rung Thai Bank, Siam Commercial Bank or Bangkok Bank. Please contact the phone numbers shown for more details.
Welcome back to Newsline. It's time to look at news from elsewhere in the world. More than 200,000 people in Malaysia are going to have very little to celebrate this new year, with the country experiencing its worst floods in decades that have killed at least 10 people. In the hardest hit state of Kelantan on Malaysia's northeast coast, a combination of unusual tide conditions, northeast monsoon winds, and heavy rain have driven tens of thousands into emergency shelters. Not even the state's capital city has been spared. Floodwaters have forced more than 140,000 people from their homes in Kelantan alone. One school on the edge of the state capital, Kota Baru, is now sheltering 4,000 people after rivers burst through their banks and inundated surrounding villages. Malaysians have been quick to donate food and other essentials, which have been pouring into the state via commercial and military aircraft. Getting supplies to the more remote areas, though, has not gone as smoothly, as reports say some are going days with little or no food. In the state capital, the floodwater that swamped streets over the weekend has mostly receded. However, with only patchy electricity and no running water, shops remain closed. And in our global stories, the city of Rio de Janeiro is busy preparing for a 16-minute fireworks display, which will be the centerpiece of one of the world's biggest New Year's Eve parties to welcome the year 2015. Yesterday, technicians and firefighters were setting up installations on 11 barges, which will each launch 300,000 fireworks in a massive display over the city's famed Copacabana beach. The annual fireworks show has become a mainstay in New Year's Eve celebrations, and the city expects to welcome more than 2 million tourists and locals to turn out for the party on the beach. Every year, millions of tourists and locals party it up around the city, dressed in white to bring good luck for the coming year. And that is it for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook by simply typing in NNT, and you can check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/newsing. We're saying goodbye today with some footage of animals at Khon Kaen Zoo celebrating New Year's Eve. I'm Sandra Hanud Saha. Have a wonderful day. Sawadee ka.